Ever turned someone's niche obsession into a full-blown online shop? I have, and it involved many questions, sore eyes, mental gymnastics, and a WordPress plugin that saved me hundreds of hours. No exaggeration there. Let me show you at a high level what goes into an e-commerce store. Pay particular attention to the spreadsheet because that is the star of the show. Let's go on the computer. In this example, the client was a long-time koi keeper, an award-winning breeder with 30 years experience. He'd been selling on eBay. He'd tried Wix and Shopify, but his Wix website wasn't very good. Here's what it looked like originally. Here's what it looked like once it had been rebuilt using WordPress. WordPress is free out of the box. You have to pay to extend some of it, but the WooCommerce plugin is free, open source, customizable, gives you the freedom to tailor everything while staying in control of hosting, SEO, and some of the third-party plugins. Now here's where the real work starts. Every single product detail from SKUs to sizes, prices, weights, categories, images, and SEO metadata went into a spreadsheet. In total, that spreadsheet was 929 rows with 37 columns. Quite a big spreadsheet, lots of data, and it became the single source of truth. This isn't something that you slap together, so somebody from inside the business has to help shape this, ideally the owner if it's a small operation. Once the spreadsheet is done, it is then fed into WordPress using a plugin called WP All Import. WP All Import pulls in the data from that spreadsheet and creates hundreds of product listings, each of which have the correct images, prices, variations, etc. And it's done automatically. It can take a while for that to happen. If it's a big spreadsheet, it could take a good 20 minutes to import all of those products. And you'd want to test it on a local host before you publish anything online. That's the golden rule. Test, 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 and do it privately offline. But this plugin is a total game changer. Now, there were hiccups, of course, parsing errors, failure to import, very annoying. But a chat with the WP All Import customer service helped, and after a few layout tweaks, it was okay. Once it was dialed in, it was magic. It saved a lot of time. Going beyond the products, there are things like shipping logic and category pages. Discounts are applied to the total based on basket spend and total weight. So if you spend over a certain amount, you get a discount. If the basket weighs over a certain amount, certain shipping rules are applied. So something might be sent out on a pallet rather than in a parcel. And category pages, now these are like micro landing pages. These are very important, and these are some of the most important pages which sadly get neglected by a lot of e-commerce websites. They're so focused on getting the products that they end up with a vending machine basically with no personality. So category pages are like middle of the funnel pages. If you didn't know what I mean by middle of the funnel, look at my video on what is the funnel. Middle of the funnel pages, category pages, can help to guide and to educate potential customers on the kinds of solutions that they need for their problems. What you don't want is boring category pages. If you want SEO success, then you want to do some SEO link building, and you mostly want to build links to category pages because then you can flow some of that SEO authority to the individual product pages. SEO and link building is a whole other topic, so I won't go into detail here. I will say, at worst, category pages are just boring and lack any educational content. In some cases, there's just nothing on them at all. If you have knowledge and experience, if you're a small business owner and you've got all this, 30 years experience, don't let that go to waste. Demonstrate that. Write about it. Use videos. Build out those category pages and try and get those ranking in Google search. Talk about some of what you consider the best products to be in an editorial typical advertising style. By default, WooCommerce category pages are very difficult to customize, but there are plugins that can help unlock the capability of category pages to make those pages more content rich. So key takeaways are that if you're building a WooCommerce shop, don't underestimate the planning stage. Treat the inventory spreadsheet as the foundation and then work on the category pages. Thanks very much for watching. There's a blog below to accompany this video. That was one of those projects where attention to detail is absolutely key. If you have a propensity towards systems thinking, then this kind of thing is probably right up your street. But if it's not, then you're going to have to get someone to help you. And as a warning, I should say, it's quite expensive, so make sure that you're serious. Thanks again for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye.